Welcome, everybody. It's Lisa Tomey Zonneveld with Prolific Pulse Press, and I'm so happy to welcome Glennie Moore to our podcast today. Welcome, Glennie.
Good morning. Good morning. Here.
Thank you. Glennie actually just lives not too far from me. We've been neighbors, have never met in person. Right here, just probably about 15 minutes away from one another here in North Carolina. And today we're celebrating her book, Echoes of Destiny. I'm so happy to have this book published. It's short stories of the unexpected. And if you like short stories and you like to be surprised, this is the book for you. So congratulations, Glennie, on your book.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so excited that this book has finally come to fruition. I was looking and it has been over 25 years in the making. And so I was just absolutely thrilled to finally see it published and excited.
I'm really excited about it. I'm a short story lover, so when somebody sends me a manuscript with short stories, they've already got me, and I like to be intrigued. I like to be fooled a little bit, because I'm a mystery solver, a problem solver. So if it's got some mystery to it, it makes me even happier. So this book fits the bill for me. It really does. So tell me a little bit about the backstory and, a little about the stories that are in the book that, uh,
Okay. So I said, this has gone over the span of 25 or more years. And I think the oldest story, sorry, the oldest story in the collection is The Unquiet Guest. And I think I started that back somewhere around 1990. So that has definitely been over, almost 30 some years. But that is the oldest. And most of these, as I said, I've worked on over the years, and I've changed them a little bit. Story kind of developed over the years, and this is just the fruition of it. Some of the stories I had to change. One of the stories, it had a part about a gentleman that was in the war, but I had to change the war because it's been over 25 years and it wouldn't match with the character. So I had to change that. So there were those kind of changes I had to make because it had spanned over so many years and just kind of flip flop some things. Um, so that's pretty much how they came about. They have been boxed up, and I decided to just pull them out and finally say, I'm going to do something with these stories. And that's what I finally did.
now Echoes of Destiny is one of the stories in the book. It's the last story and the
Yes,
longest story. It's almost like a little novella.
yes,
Um, it really is the title novella of the book.
yes.
And a wonderful conclusion for the whole book. Now, none of these stories are really to connect to one another. They're all their own individual stories, and I like that you have that variety. And the ones we have are Inside the Flame, Unlikely Allies, Picture Perfect, The Unquiet Guest, and of course, Echoes of Destiny. And so you really have a lovely array here. Do you have a favorite?
Ooh, they're like your kids. They're all your babies and you love them. Um, I really did like the Echoes of Destiny, which is, I think, why it is the longest, but I really like that one. And I think Inside the Flame also had a lot of meaning, knowing some situations of some people with battered, abusive relationships. So that one also meant a lot to me. Um, but Echoes of Destiny, I do think is my favorite. It has a lot of the mystique in it. As you say, that mystery element. And I kind of like the supernatural. element in my stories. That is the one thing that I think draws them all together, that element of surprise and the mystery line in them. So,
Mhm. Very good. And I also really liked that they were, you know, if you were going to put a rating on it, they'd be like PG, they're nice stories that anyone can read. So I really like that aspect of it as well. So but good for you for to pulling all that together and making such interesting stories. I've had a lot of people say this is the kind of book that I want to read, and so let's hope they follow through on that and put their money where their mouth is, right?
yeah, that is part of my goal and purpose in writing. I want it to be something that is um, that everybody can enjoy. You know, um, the storyline is pretty much universal in some way. Anybody can relate to some of the story. So that's what I
Yeah, I like that. Um, what other projects have you been working on?
well. My very first book was a family biography, and that came about during the pandemic. For years, I didn't do as much of the research, the genealogy, but for years, my sisters and I have one particularly really did a lot of family genealogy. And again, that too stemming back from the 1970s. And during the pandemic, everybody shut in. And it's like four sisters. Okay, we want to talk to each other. We talked about uh, the genealogy of the family. And so I opened up a Zoom account, and every week we got together and talked about this book. And so that's how that project, blending families came about, blending hearts came about. And so that was through the pandemic. My second project, which also was published last year, this is a very theological reading on, it's called Entangled Engagements, and that is how the church ministers to the LGBTQ community. And so it's a book about reaching out to that community and loving compassion. Very difficult subject that a lot of people, they kind of shy away from. So
Mm.
but that was my third project that I worked on. So
Yeah, this being Pride Month, how timely too that you mention that. That's very important to recognize the books that have been written. So, and your religious life is very important to you. You're got a degree, and what I noticed that recently you had like a gathering of authors. And tell us a little bit about that. How did that go?
weekend showcase and books and things. It was very well. A few people did come up, and a lot of them are members from the church who have written a lot of books, a lot of their testimonial, you know, how they have overcome whatever the difficulties it may be. There was, I think, one other person who was a short story writer like myself. So we had a lot in common. And just a lot of varied stories and testimony, basically, very powerful book of a lot of women that were there. So it went very well.
Good. What do you have planned for your next book event? You have something in the works?
Yes. Introduce book signing in Winston-Salem, and that one is for the genealogy. Yes, for my family biography, the Genealogy Society of Forsyth County. My sister lives in Winston-Salem, so she told them, and they helped her with a lot of the research, as a matter of fact. So they were excited to see the book that came forth from part of that research. So we will be speaking with a group of the Genealogy Society of Forsyth County, I think June 18th. So looking forward to that as well.
On June 18th, that's Juneteenth. Is it going to be connected to a Juneteenth activity?
Well, no, not really. Actually, I didn't think of that, but that's a great connection. Um, It's funny that on June 18th, when they scheduled us, no one knew that is my father's birthday. And the
Mine
book, it
too.
started June 18th. Wow.
My
Okay.
father's birthday.
Oh my. Okay. And so we're tying in kind of the celebration of the patriarch of our family, where we got all this history from. He told us about our great grandfather who was a slave. So the book, as far as chronological order, is from around circa 1830, 39. My great grandfather, just wonderful stories that he told my father, about riding a boat. And we assume that's coming from Africa, but it chronicles from around that time period up until 2020 with my mother's death. She died at 103 in 2020. So we go through all the generations over that period of time. So that's
Wow.
how that came about.
You know,
So
it, yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to read your other works. I do know that in Winston-Salem in the fall, they have a big book festival. I think it's called Letters, if I'm not mistaken. Have you gone to that one?
not there's a September event. I may have missed the deadline to get in on that for this year, but there is one in September. That's a
Okay.
big book fair. Yes, it is a big book
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. I'd like to
So,
try to get out there. I think that would be
yeah.
fun.
And as the projects we're looking at, I'm from Harnett County, and where a
Mm.
lot of people knew our family there, the name Staten family, and we are making some connections there with the Genealogy Society, library there, also for that book. But I'm also trying to find some places to speak on my Echoes of Destiny. A lot of people are saying I love short stories, so I'm hoping that people will definitely buy it.
Yeah. Well, of course I do too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I think it's a wonderful book, and it's the type of book you can set like read over a weekend, take on a beach trip, whatever,
yes,
and vacation, because it's not real heavy. It's just the right degree of weight, and it would make a wonderful beach read. I would make a wonderful book to keep on you when you're out and about, and maybe you're having a coffee somewhere or something and you just want a little something to read. But it makes a good book for anything. So yeah, love it. I love it
stories
so
and stories.
much.
So many people in a society where everything is fast paced that you want to read the short story you can do, in the span of a hour at a time.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And
So
there's a real talent to writing a short story, and you've got that. You've got to be able to pack in a lot in a little space. You've got to be able to tell the important points, get the story across, and engage people. Um, but you don't use a lot of wordiness and unnecessary things sometimes to fill a book. It's
yes,
to the point, but weaves the story, kind of like flash fictionally, expands it a little bit more than that.
yes.
Um, but I like that it's a talent to be able to do that.
It really took a little practice, hard, your craft to that moment because I tend to always write long, like a novella and books that really need to learn to shorten, as you say, for a short story and get the point across and still have it be concise and meaningful. So there's a real, um, I don't know, way of maneuvering your story so that you can do that.
Right.
And I've worked on it for years. And as a matter of fact, this month I was just looking. I think it's like 27 years now. I did the Writer's Digest. Um, school for short stories. And so for many years, I've been trying to practice that and, just kind of hone that craft a little better. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and see, you value the importance of further education. I like that. I think we can learn
Yes.
enough.
Yeah, never can, never can. And the interesting thing for me about writing is that it is very true. You have to do it, um, write, rewrite, and keep writing. And you kind of teach yourself some of the, main things that you need to know, and just to see how the whole thing works together. So you have to continually write.
Yeah. Well, Glennie, it's been a pleasure to have you on here today. Are there any parting thoughts that you have for us?
So, like I said, you're right. You're totally right. I go to bed thinking of stories and characters in my head. I wake up with them. They are truly like your children. But let me see, what I wanted to say was that you have to continue to write, and despite sometimes getting the rejection, and you will get rejection, but hopefully it comes with some constructive criticism that will help you better your writing. And never give up. Never give up. You have to believe that you have something to share and that it's worth sharing with the world. It may not be for everybody, but you find your niche and your audience, and you just continue to write. Never give up.
Excellent, excellent advice. Well, Glennie, it's been great to have you on here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and best wishes with the book. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.